Daniel went out for a night. There was some kind of altercation in the pub. It was nothing to do with him at all, and he was stabbed, and I didn't see him again.
In the 4 years since her son was stabbed and killed, Lynn Baird has fought a relentless campaign to do something positive in Daniel's memory. She is a remarkable woman who came up with the simple but highly effective idea for these specialist bleed control kits to help stem catastrophic blood loss long enough for expert help to arrive.
It's really got everything you would need. This tourniquet, obviously, I mean, for shutting off the extremities if you've got a big, serious arterial bleed.
Yep, military grade. Trauma bandage, that's for severe bleeding, you know, and practically foolproof to use as well.
Lynn believes that a simple bleed kit could have saved her own son.
There was no time. If there had been one of these kits in the pub and it had been used, we might have a different story now.
You're convinced of that?
Oh, yeah. That's what made me carry on with this campaign.
With no end in sight to the epidemic of violent crime in many of our towns and cities, bleed control kits are now being rolled out more widely. More than 2,000 so far, with demand growing by the day. The Midlands Air Ambulance attend an average of 4 serious stabbings and shootings a week, and many more incidents where catastrophic blood loss is a key concern. Without a doubt, the Midlands Air Ambulance offers the very best critical care outside of the hospital environment, and they can get a patient to hospital in a fraction of the time it takes a land ambulance to do that. But there's no point in them even attending if a patient bleeds out before they arrive. More than 60% of call-outs for the air ambulance are trauma-related, where severe blood loss is common.
If someone has a cardiac arrest in the street, a defibrillator gets there and can make the difference in 30 seconds. Yet if somebody has a catastrophic bleed, where do you get the equipment that's going to save that life? So things like the bleed control kits, like the citizen aid advice that's available, and like the first aid training that's out there, those things together will save lives, and the interventions available in this kit will absolutely stop a catastrophic hemorrhage in the right place in the right time.
The murder of Sir David Amos has highlighted the continuing threat from terrorism, with authorities warning of the possibility of a fresh wave of attacks. Senior trauma specialists say bleed control kits, coupled with increased first aid training programmes, can help arm the public to better respond and help those caught up in an attack, where it can often be some time before medical help can reach them.
These kits are very, very useful, and it's worth saying that in particular high-risk areas like London, for example, Safeguard has worked very closely with the Metropolitan Police, with the local authorities, and there are at strategic locations multiple bleed kits stored around for exactly this reason, in that when you have not just one person but several people all with major hemorrhage, exactly the same principle applies, and that major hemorrhage needs to be controlled. It needs to be controlled very quickly.
The Bull's Head in Birmingham is one of the city's oldest and best known pubs. It led the way in placing bleed kits behind the bar, and now the whole of the Davenport's brewery chain has followed suit.
So all staff are trained, bar staff, floor staff, management, all of them are trained on how to use it. Just in case it was an instant thing that happened, anyone can apply it. Saves obviously wasting time, which is what that kit's for really, isn't it?
In recent weeks, the bleed control kits have been instrumental in saving the lives of 2 people who were stabbed in Birmingham and London.
I think it's absolutely wonderful that lives have been saved, which I said would happen at the beginning, and I'd just like to see these kits go all across the UK.
Nothing can ever really diminish the loss Lynn feels every day, but there is at least some comfort in the knowledge that lives are being saved in Daniel's memory. Mark White, GB News, Birmingham.